13 is on your side.
Some West Michigan leaders are concerned a new framework for the federal budget could mean cuts to Medicaid. 13 Your Side's political reporter Josh Albertus looks at what those leaders said during a roundtable on the future of Medicaid.
It's all hands on deck.
All hands on deck, Michigan's lieutenant governor said, for a program that the state says covers roughly a quarter of its people.
The straight up assault on what people need to be healthy and to have a chance of being successful is incredibly dangerous.
Concern over the future of Medicaid funding, stemming from a framework for the federal budget passed through Congress last week. It's one that many congressional Republicans believe will pave the way for benefiting Americans in driving down the cost of living.
We also need to achieve the maximum amount of savings for the American people, because that's what fiscal responsibility is. The Democrats are out right now trying to make hay out of the fact that we're going to gut Medicaid and all these other things. It's simply not true. We're going to protect the essential programs for everybody who's eligible to receive those.
The framework seeks to cut the federal deficit in many areas over a 10-year time frame. That includes seeking $880 billion in reductions from the Commerce and Energy Committee that has jurisdiction over Medicaid.
You cannot make those kind of cuts without cutting Medicaid.
So, at a roundtable in Grand Rapids Monday, leaders speaking to the impact locals could expect should cuts be made.
I think it would be almost immediately.
And when it comes to doctors, fewer patients would mean less work.
You would see almost immediately some pretty significant layoffs and reductions to the workforce.
Our most vulnerable populations are generally in more of our rural areas than many of our urban areas, and so we're very concerned about access to care for those who are living in rural Michigan.
And concerned about what it could mean for people in every corner of life, whether they realize it or not.
I think most folks probably underappreciate how close that need is to each of them. And so looking around and understanding who is it that's dependent on this care and what could be the potential impact on them.
And Josh joins us now. And Josh, when could we know if cuts to Medicaid would actually be coming?
Well, that process has still got to play out. What that framework does is tell many different committees essentially how much they need to reduce from the deficit and come up with legislation that makes those numbers a reality. So some of what we heard at that roundtable today is that in these leaders' view, there is still time to stop that possibility, but whether cuts will or will not be in the plan for whatever lawmakers come up with, that remains to be seen, Elena.
All right, Josh, thanks so much.